I met a gypsy.
You have to go backwards to go forwards a little bit, right? So
Yeah.
James Stewart, Yamaha L&M Racing,
Yeah.
Yamaha.
Shit timing.
Then they go to the new bike.
Yeah.
Dude, that's JGR Yamaha.
Yeah.
Talk about the biggest, like, that thing was terrible. That bike, James Stewart single-handedly killed Yamaha 450 sales.
For years.
Years. Then all of a sudden, Star Racing, it still sucked until 2 years ago. The Yamaha 450 still sucked in the eyes of the perception of the
Since
community.
09
Yes.
to 2022.
10-year decade that it was a pile of crap. And then I got on it. It was winning shootouts. Then I got on it, and I'm like, why do people hate this thing?
Yeah.
Like, I bought one after I left KTM. I'm like, why do people hate this? I tested for KYB. I'm like, this thing's one of the best 450s I've ever had. Maybe I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Nah.
Maybe you're just salty.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just salty. I just hit a plateau at KTM.
Yeah.
No, man. Like, and look at, Eli's
And then
winning.
you look at Craig Dack, Roman Fevre.
Like, I think CDR is a prime example.
Yeah.
An elite program that's always done right by the bike. Here in
Well,
Australia.
they've had the freedom to just like make the bike good.
Yep.
They haven't had the biggest budget. Like, they've got the biggest budget in Australia.
Yep.
But as far as
Compared
look
to
at
Star.
AMA or whatever, not the biggest budget. So they've got to make smart decisions
Yep.
within a certain budget. But you also can make a bike like good. You do have room.
Yeah, so
you
you
know?
asked about 52 millimeter clamps
They don't run them.
or 52 millimeter forks. The factory Yamaha team, when it was ran in-house by, they would justify people's jobs. Well, we need a machinist. So if he's not machining anything,
We don't need a machinist. We can't fire him.
we can't fire him. So they're making billet clamps and this and this and this and justifying this guy's data and dude, now you look at it, times have changed. Justin Cooper's bike, Stars stripped that back to cast clamp stock.
Yeah.
His bike's all stock, and then you got Levi Kitchen's bike. It's all billet parts because they're like,
that's what he wants.
What he wants. So it's times have changed, but I don't feel that any company besides Suzuki's delivering, because they're just not delivering anything.
Yeah.
Like, these guys aren't delivering bad product. And then Husky, KTM, you have Anderson that wasn't performing just because he's in a funk.
Yeah.
Goes to Cowie and is, even though he didn't win the series, best season of his career in Supercross, hands down. Like,
As far as race win goes.
Wins goes on a Cowie.
Yeah.
But then,
Which is an 08 Honda.
and then
with
you
a
have,
hydraulic clutch.
but then you have Tomac, who leaves on a Cowie and goes and wins on a Yamaha.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm interested to see what. Bottom line is, I'm really excited to ride the bikes.
Yeah.
And very confident to feel like there's things that I know what I don't like about the 22s.
Yeah,
and
you've
prior
spent so much time
on that. I'm like, I wonder if they fix those nuances, like, in those things that I don't like. And if they did, like, I'm gonna be even a bigger fan of the brands. And if they didn't, then, well, I can work on some aftermarket parts to fix those problems.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I think it just goes back to, you can see that Mercedes can get it wrong. You know,
dude,
Ferrari.
sorry.
So it's
Yes.
like, no. Yeah, it happens, you know, it does. It's hard to make. You're running at the razor edge all the time, and you're constantly just trying for just the smallest, like, these marginal gains. And, you know, it's this whole package that has to kind of come together. And if Mercedes can get it wrong at F1, then Roger DaCosta can also get it.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
people are human.
Yeah, fucking oath, for sure. So
absolutely.
I think too, there's a bigger combo as well with KTM. Maybe this isn't why I'm getting a fucking invite to the ride day, but there's a bigger thing going on where at one point the entire focus of KTM was winning motocross and supercross championships. That's all they gave a fuck about. That's all they wanted to do. And then, so that if you look at the trajectory of KTM as a brand, they started winning in off-road. They started making great trail bikes. They made these funky two-strokes. They started winning everything. They won Erstberg. They won. That's where that's their little niche. That's the corner that they carved out for themselves. And then they said, well, we want to start winning motocross. So then 03, 04, you've got Coppens, you've got Townley, you've got these guys, Joel Smets, and you've got, then you've got Tyler Rattray, you've got all these, that Grant Langston. That 03 period was KTM going all in on motocross. And then they fucking won. They went all in and then they won. Until they won, and then they said, now we need to win Supercross. And then what did they do?
Hired Haney. And Nathan Ramsey and Mike Alessi.
Yeah, and Mike Slater.
Oh no, I was there. I was the guy on the team that got the mud off the track at testing. Dude, real quick. I was so not all part of that team that I remember Jerry Mallett would make me cut the Red Bull out of my test bike because I wasn't allowed to have a I would go and test bikes and he's like, hey man, can you make sure that Slater cuts the Red Bull out of the shrouds?
I fucking love it.
That's rad though. Like how rad that you just aren't good enough to run a sticker.
I love it. So then they go and then they win Supercross championships and then they become the team. What do they want to win now?
Oh, dude, MotoGP.
They don't give a fuck. Is that like, so let's just live in a universe for 5 seconds where
resource.
They don't give a fuck. They've already won. Not that maybe they don't give a fuck is too harsh of a word to say. Okay, let's forget about MotoGP. Dakar. They're in that world. And then they win, 10 in a row? And then now, right around the time where the Supercross team's starting to struggle a little bit, the rally team's not doing so great either. They grenaded almost every single one of their new 450s motors that they developed for Dakar this year. So you're seeing this like downward trend now in the factory efforts of KTM, just globally in motocross and supercross. They're not going to win. Yeah. They wouldn't if Jeff was in the World Championship. They still would probably win that. But they're probably not going to win.
But that's a big if with him. How many champions? Yeah. Like, that's the thing.
Well, there's 5 he lost and there's 5 that he won.
They had a 50% chance.
Yeah. But so, if you look at the trend of KTM off-road, it's going down massively in terms of like the racing, like the pinnacle racing. Yeah. And then they're spending so much money in MotoGP. So KTM as a manufacturer, if this is my own fucking hypothesis, take it for what it is. But KTM as a manufacturer said, we want to win here. We want to win here. Orange Brigade, like Leeski as well, like the 65 Cup. Like KTM has like seen a space where they weren't dominant and then they went all in with all their chips until they were dominant. And then they've just moved their chips around. So they've been playing this game of like all in, move their chips, all in, move their chips, all in. And now they just don't care about motocross and supercross in the same, like the chips have been moved. So now you go into this phase where you've gone from like that all in phase to now just like, now here's a bit of the budget that tries to keep this going. So it's like they're in a maintenance phase. So I really think that what we're seeing in 2022 with KTM is really bad timing of the talent on the bike, relationships with the people at KTM. So you've got talent problems with management, and then you've all got all of this and a new bike being released at this same time. And then you've got all of this as the budget is being kind of into the MotoGP stuff. So that's my like grand conspiracy.
So we
that's why I didn't get an invite to that.
So we don't know. I would say there's a lot to what you're saying.
What's speculation? Break apart my argument.
So in motocross, amateur racing,
yeah,
they should have Danger Boy Deegan. They let him go.
They were never going to keep him.
No, but I'm saying they should have fought harder.
Yeah,
I don't know. Go back to 18 months ago when I sat here. Monster had him.
Yeah,
Monster had him, but they're not developed. They're not evolving with. Roger is old.
Yes.
Roger's old.
Real old.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Great guy. Real old.
Very smart.
Yes.
Old. Slow moving, same ways.
I will be the same as him when I'm that old.
Yeah.
Probably way dumber.
Yeah.
Probably way shitter.
I won't be the same as Roger because Roger is the man still. He's still like chicks still want to hang out with Roger.
But now he's the old man.
But his ways have not evolved. And they have the Baker's factory, but they don't have the Star factory. Star Eisen, Star Yamaha.
Yeah.
They're more aggressive of finding guys, switching guys, getting through guys. Mitch Payton and Roger are like the same era of management.
Yeah.
Right? Mitch already had this Alden Baker program or Star program. before everyone. That's why when we grew up, it was just pro circuit.
Yeah, PC.
Right?
Yeah.
Every day at Glen Helen Thursday, they just practiced, tested together. As Roger and let's not even use people. As businesses get older, they slow down. Sometimes the heartbeat slows down, which would be Mitch and Roger in these cases. And there was Mitch and Bones testing, developing. Bones ain't at pro circuit no more. I don't even know who their chassis guy is. He's obviously killing it because Shimoda's hauling butt. But that accountability, that aura around that team. Yeah. Right now, you got the management of Stars under 40.
Look at true.
They're under 40, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you got a hungry bunch of dudes that idolize Mitch and Roger that want to knock them off the top.
Yeah.
Right? And how can we expect Roger and Mitch to want to stay up night, do what they do, have the same energy and passion? That's like a big ask.
Massive, man. And if the door's closed and like those people are like holding on to that level still, then where do you go?
Like Jeremy Croker, who manages a Star 450 team, and
he seems like a G.
He's an absolute legend. He has done a complete life change. He was probably 200 pounds growing up his whole life, chubby little guy. He's done a complete lifestyle change, changed his diet, fitness. You look at him now, he's like
he looks like an athlete.
It looks like an athlete, and he absolutely is leading that program. He was a practice mechanic at Troy Lee from the OG, like lived and breathed this sport, and just idolized what these guys did. Now he's working with Brad Hoffman, who's kind of had the fuck the world type attitude, building these engines, and like they were the redhead stepchild.
Yeah.
And look all these guys have Duck Dynasty beards, and they want to win at all costs. And Bobby Reagan, the fearless leader, is like, yeah, that's what we do. Unfortunately, they're gonna go through.
The same season will happen. Yeah.
But I think what I was saying, they're gonna go through riders. Like they had Cooper and Jeremy Martin, who started this in like Keith Johnson, Isaiah Johnson. Dude, if you look at the guys that rode for Star back in the day, Star's been around a long time. Star isn't just 5 years old or 10 years old.
Deegan sponsored him.
Yeah.
Remember it was like all Metal Militia?
Yeah.
First time I ever saw Jeremy Martin ride, he was in a Metal Militia hoodie at Parla in summer, black hoodie, and he just was like Metal Militia out. I was like, who the fuck is this?
Right. So like this has been a work in progress. Like that 250F landed and
a bit of luck there. They got kind of the best bike.
Yeah, but Jeremy Martin was coming through no matter what on the Star bike. You have Cooper Webb who was coming through. They started stacking things up.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.